Hello everyone, welcome to another episode of Inconsisti-Trek, episode 13, where today I'm going to talk about impulse engine cold starts. But before I do that, I got to beat around the bush and bring you guys up to speed on why this is going to be an inconsistent track. See, first, let's talk about what's called the Otto cycle, OTTO. Basically, this is how gases react when you change their volume, pressure, all that kind of stuff, especially when you add or take away heat. Now, what is that talking about? That is basically talking about any internal combustion engine that use pistons. All right, they have an actual three-letter acronym for it called ICE, which is intake, combustion, and exhaust, which is not really the most accurate way. It should be intake, compression, ignition, and then exhaust, right? Or for the layman's, suck, squeeze, bang, blow. That's where she's, anyway, sorry about that. Anyway, why am I talking about this? Because this is how internal combustion engines work. When you get up to things like turbine engines, right? You got a fan that basically turns the fan and compresses the air in the combustion section of the internal engine, where instead of having spark plugs, you got these things called igniters, and they do basically the same thing. Now, when one of the elements of a turbine engine, right, is when you lose power to your turbine engine, it loses power, it goes off, right? You can go into what's called a dive, right? The air pressure will turn the fan, thereby allowing the engine to start. It's kind of like almost kicking the clutch. So why am I talking about this long-winded thing? Because back in the day, an episode, The Naked Time, right? It was an original series episode, right? Somebody had turned off the impulse engines of the Enterprise and it was spiraling down to a planet. Kirk was like, yo, man, we gonna die if we hit this planet. Scotty, you need to do something now. Scotty said to Kirk, you cannot change the laws of physics. And that's what Scotty mean. Now, you could kind of be like, all right, Scotty tripping if he'd be like, I'm giving her all she's got or whatever. But if Scotty specifically tells you, you can't change the laws of physics, that's what Scotty means. But in this particular episode, Scotty and Spock got together, right? And their intention was to save the Enterprise by cold starting the impulse engines. Now, it was a 1 in a billion possibility that they would actually survive this, right? But when they did survive this, it created what's called time warp. Yeah, that was something right there. So Scotty and Spock broke the laws of physics to cold start impulse engines, right? And it made time warp. And they didn't blow up in a big old thing of absolute supernova-ish. Now, that brings me to the movie of the new Star Trek movie, right? Where the one Idris Elba was in, and they had this starship on top of a mountain, and they said, hey, you know what? We're going to drop this starship from the top of the mountains, right? The air resistance is going to go into the nacelles, right? Into the buzzard hydrogen collectors, right? It's going to start the impulse engines, and we're going to be able to do that. That's what we're going to do. Now, understand that whoever was writing this particular part of the Star Trek movie must have thought that the nacelles of a starship worked on the same principle as a turbine engine. And this is one of the main reasons why I cannot stand new Star Trek, because you are not cold starting impulse engines by dropping your starship off your spaceship, needing ram resistance to start up when it's a spaceship. Look. That is not how impulse engines work, people. And if you watched that movie and you thought that was something that was cool that they did, no, that's something totally fictional. That don't happen.